What's up guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's first ever video that I'm gonna make. You see unboxing review of this awesome weapon called the DAS, that stands for Dynamic Action System, I think so. Yep. Then we're gonna show you just why it is so expensive. Right, so let's get to the first part. I'm kind of excited actually. This is one of the most expensive airsoft guns I've ever gotten. Really nice. Right, so inside the box we first have a very nicely and tidy instruction menu here. You've got all the specifications and stuff. I'm not going to go through it. Right, just let's leave that aside. And yes, we have here very interesting disassembled lower receiver and the upper receiver. I think that's the magazine right here. Let's take a look. I think it's the 60 rounder, which I think is really nice. It's not that lot compared to mid cap, which normally is around 90 rounds to 120 rounds, and it's more than normal low cap. It's just enough for skirmish or museum, you know, 5 or 6 of those. Right, here we have little something. Let's just take it apart. Oh, really nice packaging. Oh, I think that would be the speed loader adapter that goes something like this. Right, so you pump in the BBs with the speed loader like that. Nice, really thoughtful. It's not like normal mid caps, so really great thing. And here's the Allen screw for the hop adjustment, I believe. Right, and let's get to the main topic of today. The actual DAS GDR 15. Oh, look at that. It's really nicely packaged in order to combat the potential hazard during the shipment from Korea all the way across the Atlantic. Actually no, Pacific Ocean, yeah, whatever. And whoa! Right, you have a orange tip flat hider. I believe that's plastic, and that's just there in order to comply with the Korean custom and regulations. You have a little Allen screw here that you can just simply screw it off and take it off, replace it with your own black flash hider. And here is the upper receiver. The charging handle is very nice. It's real steel, really robust unit. And you have here the bolt assembly. Right, that's unlike anything I've ever seen. There's the sort of like the piston gears for the lower receiver, and I don't want to take it apart any further because it might just break. Oh, right, and there's the hop adjustment. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's right here. There's a little thing, little screw there that you can adjust it with the Allen screw provided. That's the hop up adjustment. It's more like a GBLS sort of chamber, but I'm told that it takes standard AEG inner barrels and AEG hot buckings and not. I mean, it's sort of like this satisfaction, you know, you get when you see something that assembles just like a real weapon. The Korean military used this as the PTW, sort of say. Ooh. Right. Now how does that go? Bear with me a second guys, this is just my first time getting into this rifle. Right, there we go. Right, so that would be the upper receiver. Let's leave that aside. Let's get to the most interesting part, the lower body of the GDR 15. Once again, very nicely packaged. Takes a bit of time to get rid of the silicone. Oh. Right. You know, you get that sort of feeling as a little kid unwrapping your present and stuff. That's exactly how I feel right now. Right, that side. So here we have the lower receiver. Right, it's really nicely done, and you can see that the gearbox is just about that big because you have a pistol grip and the motor sits inside pistol grip. You can see from there. Do not adjust. That's because they've done the motor height adjustment for you. And yeah, as I said, the entire trigger assembly and the gearbox just sits nicely in this little area. So that might provide an explanation for why the expensiveness, due to the really clever engineering. And yeah, so here you have the full metal buffer tube with a, I think, 5-positioned stock. This is the PTS stock and PTS pistol grip. That's the PTS aluminum rail, M-lock rail, I believe. So let's open up the battery compartment. Jesus Christ, really stiff. There we go. Right, so you have a standard DINS connector battery. Really long, isn't it? And that's the safety. Oh, yeah, I believe. So you might need a adapter if you're using, say, Tamiya. The battery space is really spacious. You can fit probably one 11.1 volt battery here, one more here, so you just do a little interchange yourself. Yeah, really thought of design, but I'm thinking of getting a CDR stock that's a lot more better looking than a PTS one. Let's put that back together. Right, I think that's it. Oh, and there is a spring that's inside the buffer tube as well, just like the real steel firearm. That creates more recoil kick, so to speak. And yeah, and I'll show you the takedown procedure. It's just like the real steel firearm. Very nicely thought. Right, so here you have the upper receiver, the bolt, and the lower receiver. Just do that. There you go. Nice little, really sturdy piece of weapon. It's got a really nice and stiff pull to it. And yeah, I mean, weird thing is that it doesn't come with iron sights. I mean, for a 1,500 piece of weapon, I would expect them to have an iron sight on, but I mean, nobody really uses iron sight these days, so I guess that's alright. One other thing is the safety isn't ambidextrous, so if you're lefty, might create a problem. Yeah, that's one thing that I've found not really good about this thing. One more thing that I've noticed, I was told that when you pull back the charging handles, don't let it go slowly, just like slam it back like the real steel firearm. I've got no idea why, but since they told me to do it, might as well just do it. Another thing, they have got a fully military cerakoted receiver, so this part is all cerakoted, which costs really a lot of money to do, even here in the UK. So you don't really have a cerakoted rail or other parts, which can wear off, you know, like as time progresses. That might frustrate some players, but for me it's just alright because I'm gonna do my own paint job as well. Right, so what the hell is that? No idea what that is. Yeah. There's no sling point here in the buffer tube. You do have one QD sling point here and QD sling point here. So if you want to use, say, single pointed sling, you might have to get a sling point here as well. Right, so we'll be taking this to a shooting test next. Right, so guys, let's sum up of this amazing GDR 15. Well, it is one of the best airsoft weapon I've ever used. I will address the main feature of the gun from 3 points. So first we'll have the parts compatibility, second will be the recoil kicks that most of us will be so hyped about, and lastly the price. So first, the parts compatibility. I get questioned a lot about whether this gun is compatible to other aftermarket parts. For that I would say no, internally, except for the AEG barrel, the AEG bucking and AEG nub. That's the only parts that you can swap with any aftermarket AEG parts. The rest of the internal features just completely new. It's a new system. I mean, it just came out a couple of years back. That's why it's really difficult for you to upgrade it, but I don't think you need to upgrade that. It performs really excellent out of the box. I mean, accuracy wise, you can always do your own favorite bucking and nub combinations. Get a barrel. I mean, I don't think you need to get a new Type ball barrel. It's got a 6.03 precision Type ball inserted, so that's quite unnecessary for me. You could do your own hop settings. That's your choice. I'm just gonna go with the stock one and see how it goes. Secondly, the recoil kicks. I know that you guys really like to know how hard it kicks, but I'm gonna disappoint you guys. It's not as hard as you think. It's not as hard as I thought, because while it definitely kicks harder than, say, the TM recoils or the Bolt EBB guns, it's not as hard as you expect from a gas blowback rifle. I mean, the GBB kicks are similar to those of real firearm. It kicks like, it's got that crisp kick where you put the trigger and it goes like pam. But it's different on this one. It's got a slacked kick, so there's a very short delay between the kick and the trigger pull, much like the TM one. So like when you put the trigger, you can feel the bolt going back and go like pam, pam. It's not like dang dang dang, but still, like, I think that's as most realistic as you can get with the AEG. You know, the reliability of an AEG. And lastly, the price factor. People have just been going crazy around UK since its introduction about the price tag, 1,550 quid. Well, I totally appreciate that, because a lot of people can't afford it. I couldn't afford it. I'm almost gone bankrupt trying to get this one. But still, can it be justified? Well, that's a matter of opinion. Well, and I think that it is a very, very fair and reasonable price. And compare it to a system like PTW. You spend 1,000 quid trying to get one, and spend another 500 trying to make it skirmishable or playable as an airsoft weapon, and getting a conversion kit. It's gonna cost another 1,000 quid. So for me, getting a gun that functions well out of the box for 1,550, it is fair. You know, like I really understand that people couldn't afford it, but if you have the money, go for it. I've got so many TM builds that cost me over 1,000 quid. I mean, those guns just like, they just rack up, you know, on the upgrades. And the internal part costs 20 or 30 quid, not that much, but once you start building up, the price build up as well. So I think the most expensive weapon I've got was a upgraded TM 416, and that cost me about 1,700 quid. I mean, it doesn't kick as hard or doesn't feel as real as this one. So yeah, I mean, if you have the spare cash or you have the means to purchase one, by all means go ahead. It's a fantastic weapon. I've never shot anything more realistic except for GBR, but this thing, it's got AEG reliability, and you don't have to strip it down and clean it, and you don't have to worry about leaky magazines. You don't have to worry about how to play it in winter. It's an all-season gun, and it kicks, to be fair, pretty hard, although not as hard as we've thought. Also, it's got really high quality parts. As I've said, it's got a PTS stock, PTS pistol grip, and the CA unlock rail, and it's got fully military cervical receivers, which can cost absolutely a fortune here in the UK. Also, like the internal parts, I've heard, well, I don't know, but I've heard that the entire bolt was made of space aluminum just for the durability and the lightweightness of it. So they've really done a lot trying to get this weapon up for the market and properly skirmishable. Well, that's why I think the price is quite fair, to be honest. I mean, you can blame VAT, you know, 20% VAT for the high price, but otherwise it is expensive. I mean, of course it is expensive. It's just, if you really love Airsoft, if you really want to get something that stands out of the crowd, then go for this one, this bad baby right here. Right, so on the final note, I was told that you should use real steel sights. So I've got a Vortex AR Spark red oxide, was it? Yeah, and the sight mark magnifier. Well, I personally really don't think the kick is gonna, I don't know, lose the zeroing of the sight, but since it's recommended by the factory, then, well, by all means. I mean, I've got spare sights, so why not? And one last thing is that you shouldn't and do not use really low quality BBs. I mean, if you can afford a 1,500 quid gun, then why not afford, like, you know, like higher quality BBs? Because the way that it functions is different than those of the normal AEG, where the BB gets blown out of the cylinder head. Here, actually, the BB gets punched out by the bolt, so there's an impact of the bolt and BBs. So low quality BBs are gonna explode right in the middle of the chamber, and that's gonna cause the entire bolt to jam. And you don't want your expensive rifle to be destroyed just like that. So do not be stingy and save your money on those BBs. Use high quality BBs. The factory recommended the use of GMP BBs, which are, well, it's got flyers, but it's really hard, so you don't get jammed. Personally, I prefer drop club. I'm still testing out. There's nobody testing out drop clubs on these guns just yet, so I'm gonna take that risk and test out how drop club performs on this gun. Right. So I think that will be all for the unboxing review. And if you guys like my channel, subscribe, and well, because subscription means a lot to me. Yeah, so that's it guys, and thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely day.